Whether he was a Western mortician, Lord of Darkness, the American Badass, Big Evil or the Dead Man, there is no denying that The Undertaker made his mark on the wrestling world as being one of the most successful and well-respected superstars in WWE history. Since debuting in the WWE, he's won championships, put giants to rest, seen a number of rebirths, one by becoming the leader of an evil cult, then becoming a biker, forming a tag team with the brother that tried to kill him in a house fire, becoming evil again, this time still as a biker, then returned to his roots of becoming the Phenom, building an impressive WrestleMania streak that would see him defeat 21 opponents in a row. Throughout that time, there has been no other superstar like him. He's been one of the most faithful wrestlers to Vince, never defecting to its competition, nor compromising his character off television. He is one of the most respected figures backstage, and is seen as judge and jury in wrestlers' court. He represents everything that a wrestler should be, but he's certainly not invincible. As each year goes by, many question whether it's time for the dead man to hang up his wrestling boots, and here are 4 reasons why he should. Number 1. Taking spots. In recent weeks, WWE's flagship show Monday Night Raw has witnessed a continuous decline in ratings, with last week's viewership setting the lowest figure to date as the Brothers of Destruction decimated Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Yes, Raw has to contend with full television programming as the football season and Major League Baseball playoffs are in full swing, but it can also be attributed to older stars whose segments are closing out Raw, as many wrestling fans seem to tune out by the third quarter or just not watch at all. Whilst this isn't The Undertaker's fault, he is still part of the problem that's seen in current programming. WWE still seems to be relying heavily on legends to sell out arenas, and consequently not investing more time into its younger stars who are the next generation of wrestlers. Many had also noticed a substantial number of wrestlers missing off WWE's Super Showdown event in Melbourne, Australia. Not only did The Undertaker vs Triple H match take up nearly an hour's worth of pay-per-view time, it affected other matches as they had to go shorter in order to accommodate it. Let's also look at the feuds Taker has had recently. They are mostly against the older generation of superstars like Triple H and John Cena. He may have had a few matches against younger superstars like Rusev, but wouldn't it have made more sense to put the younger superstar over? Number 2. He's prone to injuries. The Undertaker has suffered numerous injuries over his illustrious career, but instead of complaining about it, he just gets on with it. Well, that is until WWE can write him off TV so he can recuperate. In fact, even so early on in his career, The Undertaker was advised to retire in the late 90s due to suffering a number of injuries in his early WWE career. Most notably, he injured his back during his feud with the Yokozuna, but carried on wrestling until he was able to take time off, hence why he quote-unquote died at the 1994 Royal Rumble. He has suffered other injuries like second-degree burns due to mistimed pyro, and a broken orbital bone during a match with Rey Mysterio. More recently, he has complained of pain in his shoulders, knees and hips, which has resulted in surgery. Even though he's still able to go in the ring, one slip-up could lead to devastating consequences. Just look at WWE Hall of Famer Sting, who looked relatively in good shape until a buckle bomb performed by Seth Rollins forced him to retire. The more The Undertaker continues to wrestle, the more likely he could suffer a career-ending injury. Number 3. He has nothing left to prove. Some fans believe that WWE should never have broken the streak, as it gave a good enough reason for The Undertaker to continue wrestling at each WrestleMania. When Brock Lesnar F5'd The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30 to get the 3 count and break the streak, it was one of the most shocking moments in WWE history. Consequently, without it, it gave The Undertaker less of a reason to wrestle, and apart from putting over Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 33, The Undertaker hasn't had many significant matches since the streak was broken. It's obvious The Undertaker doesn't need another title run, but one thing he could do is put over some wrestlers on his way out. Wrestlers like Finn Balor would benefit tremendously by defeating one of the biggest names in WWE history, and honestly, they would have a great feud as The Undertaker unleashes the demon within Balor. However, the WWE doesn't seem to have any intention of doing this, and instead they are setting up feuds and matches that are 10 years too late. And number 4, his exit at WrestleMania 33 was perfect. After rumours circulated the internet that The Undertaker was going to retire at WrestleMania 33, many started to believe that this was The Undertaker's final match after he was defeated by the big dog Roman Reigns. Alone in the ring, The Undertaker looked like he was making one emotional farewell to WWE as he broke character in a way that none of us ever imagined happening. After losing to Roman Reigns in a hard-fought battle, he put his signature coat and hat back on whilst receiving a tremendous ovation from the crowd. He would then solemnly take off his gloves, hat and coat, neatly leaving it in the ring. On his way out, he kissed his wife Michelle McCool and raised his arm at the entrance for possibly the last time ever. The Undertaker didn't need to say goodbye to the fans, but his actions spoke louder than words, being completely out of character and thankful for his support throughout the years. It was the perfect way to say thank you and goodbye. But confusingly, The Undertaker would return. What do you guys think? Is it finally time for The Undertaker to retire? Let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.